Hey everybody, this is Jessica Lynn from Canvas Bites. I am so happy that you have joined us today. If you are brand new to Canvas, today we are going to be looking at navigation. Now this is true course navigation, so we're going to look at the fundamental setup of how Canvas functions. So before we get started, what I'll say is a couple of things. Number one, I have just a basic Canvas that we're working through. There are different settings that your Canvas administrator could set upon the system. They may have features turned on or off. So I will put a link down below to the True Canvas guidebook. So be sure to take a look at that if you have any detailed questions. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is getting logged in. Most Canvas systems, you are going to get a username and password from your university, your high school, your school, whomever is using it. And with that, that will be your access. Typically, it's not your own personal because they want to make sure that they send communications that they can help monitor or that their help desk could help monitor. So once you get logged in, the first thing you're going to see on this home page, it looks like this when you first log in. Now, when you're on this first page, let's go ahead and let's talk about how it looks. So off on the left-hand side, you have got your, let's call it a course navigation page. Then you have got your content area. And then off on the right-hand side, that's where you've got your sidebar. So we're going to start by actually looking at the far left navigation. So this typically right here, now that's the Canvas logo, but typically you'll see the university or school that you're attending. They'll have like their little logo or icon. The next thing you're going to see is your account. Now this is really important. When you log in, you want to make sure that if this is the first time that you've ever logged into Canvas, go in and take care of a couple of things in here. First being, in notifications, your school, university, high school, middle school, whatever it may be, is already going to have a default bunch of settings. So even just the core basic version of Canvas has default settings, like how often do we send communications out? Side note, be very cautious because if you go in and start turning things off and your instructor is expecting you to receive communication, it is going to be on you because it's going to show that you turn that stuff off because the default would be to leave it on. So my suggestion would be is if this is the first time you've used Canvas, let it ride for right now. Okay. Let it just go and see how much communication you get from your instructor. You can turn off specific courses or communication from courses if you wanted, but I would leave this section alone. Now, the only reason I even show it is because I want to make sure you know how to go back in and fix it if you accidentally turn something off. Okay. The next thing you're going to look at is your profile. Now, what's kind of fun about your profile is go in and I'm just going to click on edit over here. You can put in your name. Now, there is a little asterisk there to let you know some universities or schools will not allow you to make a name change, because then you can change it to anything. And how is your faculty or your staff or your instructor going to know who you are? So this is an exception. I put a little star there so you can see I can do this in just the basic version, but a lot of the versions that come from the schools, it'll already be predetermined for you. But you can add a biography, which is cool. And you can add some links, which is fun because if you're networking with other students, what a great way to do that. Or let's say you're in the university level, okay, or college level. This is a great opportunity for you to share out your LinkedIn, share out maybe some portfolio work you're doing. Your other classmates could see that. You may connect then, and who knows where it goes from there. So I always encourage, especially at the college level, put your LinkedIn in there. Maybe put a page that you have all of your portfolio work. It's a great tool, so definitely use it. When you're done, just hit save and it'll hold. Now, in my example, I have just a cartoon picture, but I would completely encourage you to upload a very nice headshot, whether it be your school picture, whether you go and have professional pictures done. I would encourage you to have nice profile headshots. Keep them professional, keep them clean, keep them nice. Remember, your faculty instructors will see that picture, and it might be the first contact they have with you, so definitely do that. Files is where all of your context of your files will go. So in other words, all of the homework assignments, all the documentation, all of your profile pictures, everything will live in this file folder system. Okay. As far as the other things, you don't use them all that much. You may use like ePortfolios. Some schools set it up where you can share out your portfolios. Not all do. Shared content. Yeah, a lot of these you're probably not going to use a whole lot. Okay, the next thing on the far left-hand side nav is the dashboard. Dashboard is a iPad friendly, let's call it that. It was actually designed to work perfectly for an iPad, or any type of iPad, if you will, because all of these little course little boxes, it kind of reminds me of Monopoly, right? So they've got all these different course cards, let's call them that. And what's nice is that you can see your published courses versus your unpublished courses. So if you are signed up for a class and you're like, I still don't see it, double check that it's not under the unpublished, because until your instructor or your faculty member publishes your course, you will not see it, just so that you know. We're going to talk about this a little bit more coming up, but just want to show you some cool things you could do. Maybe you have a specific color scheme that you really like. Maybe you're like, it's Christmas, I'm feeling seasonal, or maybe you have Halloween, or whatever the case may be. You can actually go in and you can change not only the hex color, but you could also change it to any of these defaults. So you're not stuck with the color it provides. The other thing I really like to do is, let's say you're taking 4 or 5 classes and this is your first time in Canvas and you want to make sure you've got it set. A little tip I have is maybe set the nickname to whenever your course meets. So maybe this one was Tuesday, Thursday, 10 a.m. Boom. So now it lives there, and mentally I know exactly which one that is. Another thing you can do is change the colors. Like, all your courses on Monday are purple. All your courses on Wednesday, or what if it's Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, maybe they're purple, right? Whatever the case may be. Whatever you need to do to help you organize, Canvas does have a lot of it built into the system. Okay. You can also shift. So let's say there were 5 or 6 of them. You can drag and drop these as needed. Now, again, you can't drag unpublished to published because you have to wait till your instructor does that. Okay. Next thing is courses. So you can see it even throws that nickname in here. So make sure you know. Now, if you hover over it, it'll tell you the name too. But let's say you're like, well, where are my courses from last semester? If you click all courses, you'll see everything. Calendar. This is so underutilized, and it is one of my favorite features. So in this calendar, and I know you would say, oh my gosh, I already have a Gmail account. I already have other emails. How is this going to help me? I'll tell you. Every single class you take, when they set due dates for discussions, for uploading assignments, for anything, they are going to show up in this calendar, and they will be organized by the color you pick. So if you're like, oh my gosh, this class I'm taking has way too many things, how do I even keep this organized? The calendar will show you it. Now you say to me, you know what? I am not a big fan of going into Canvas. I get it. I was a college kid too. This is the best feature right here, calendar feed. So you can actually take this and import this iCal feed into your Google Calendar, your iCal, your Outlook, whatever your favorite is. So for me, I use a lot of Gmail, so Google. And I can actually take this, import it into my Google Calendar, and now it shows up with everything else I'm keeping track of. So, dance class or whatever the case may be, it'll all be intertwined on your Google Calendar, and it will pop up on your calendar on your phone, which to me, I'll be really honest, when I was in college, I was working a full-time job, going to college, really trying to pay off as much as I could as I went, because that's truly the game to get yourself ahead. And having it in this calendar was a lifesaver, because then I knew exactly when assignments were due. I had all the communication from other, if I was working on a group assignment, was in there, whatever the case may be. So this can be a game changer. Next thing is your inbox. This is the way to communicate with your faculty member. You could also communicate in here with other students. You can also send them regular emails, but this is a fun way to do it. Sometimes your faculty might send you an email, like if you forgot to upload an assignment, it will show up in here, but then it will forward to your associated email box. So in other words, your university's email too. History will take you through the last 10 to 15 things that you've kind of worked on. The Commons is sort of an area that you're not going to use a whole lot unless your school specifically uses it. And then there's the help box. And what's nice in here is it's got all the Canvas guides. This is just a demo account, so it doesn't have quite as much. Sometimes in there, your Canvas admin or your help desk, they actually can control all the links in here. So be sure to double check what they have in there, because they may have how to reach their help desk, how to communicate with this, how to submit that you're going to be missing a bunch of classes. I don't know. Whatever it may be, definitely look in that help area, because that is a really big help and there will be a lot of information in there. We're going to go back to the dashboard just so I can show you the last navigation screen, which is called the sidebar. It's off on the far right-hand side. So again, remember, we have got this course navigation, or the high-level nav. We have got our content area, which is also called the dashboard. And then we also have the sidebar over here. Now, things that happen in the sidebar would be your calendar. So remember, that's the calendar, the same one, okay? In here, you could also see any assignments that were due. So I don't have a sample of one that shows assignments that are due, but typically in here, you'll see like upcoming assignments are 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the case may be. And it'll be, because you're at the main level, the top level, if you will. If you have, let's say, 5 courses, you could have them all interchanged in that area. You have to go into the specific course tile to see the specific information for that course. Underneath that, typically right around here, you'll also see a screen, a little info tab that'll say feedback from your instructor. So if your teacher grades one of your assignments, on that right-hand side, you might get a quick snippet of the response they sent you. So it's really a useful screen. Don't be afraid to kind of play around in here. I am going to be adding additional videos. We're a brand new channel, but I have been teaching on Canvas for over 12 years. So if there's something you're looking for in particular, comment that down below. If you are looking for something specific, also just ask for that. I'd be more than happy to. So again, my name is Jessica and I am part of Canvas Bytes. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe as well, and we'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody.